Hello, welcome back to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough. This is Grim, and we're going to be talking about this new update for September, the Haunted School. It's time to go back into classes as lessons have been learned. Or will be. We'll find out. And yeah, I'm going to be quickly with this, and this video we're going to be taking a look into the Crafting 101. And I'll be doing what I did last time, which is just sharing with you the how this whole thing's going to work. The grand prize this time around is going to be the class of 1947, I believe is what it's been referred to as. It might be wrong with the date, but in the game I'll be more correct with my wording, as it were. I will also be briefly talking about the book prize, which is the Forgotten Fable. This is going to be one of the more interesting prizes. I won't know exactly how much it's going to cost to get that one, but I kind of claim that it perhaps is going to be easy because the last two seem to be in that case. So, yeah, I guess with that in mind, let's just dive right into to my live recording on video via the phone, and we'll go to crappy audio, so take it away. Make it seem very interesting that the bell tolled, ringing nevermore. I don't know, I'm just trying to be poetic. But this is the bell, I guess, to this little event area. Ignore the thing entering here that doesn't yeah, anyways, we'll go to there over for a minute, and oh, yeah, I'll mention that in another part. But anyways, let's look at the dance hall, shall we? Here are the lists that we need in order to get this stuff going, and in order to get the class of 1947. In order to receive this, we need 4 of the color bombs, 5 of the black paint, 8 of the lunch boxes, and 6 of the lipsticks. Now, during this part, I will be telling you exactly what you need in order to get all this said and done, like usual. So let's begin. Let's go ahead and talk about the actual crafting area and talk more about this. So you'll probably notice that chalks as well as the paintbrushes are going to be this event's main items you can grab. There are some characters that will drop you the hall pass, but I'll get to them when we get there. But anyways, in order to get this, you'll also need the craft, the fingerprints registry. There are characters who can drop this for you, but again, like you've seen through my videos, I'm only going to be focused on the event-specific characters and kind of guide you through what you can and can't do. Now, that being said, you can utilize different characters and personalities in order to get, like, characters that are not needed for the event. You can have them do these types of items, but I'm not 100% sure who can do fingerprints, but a decent few. In order to get the lunch boxes, you do need a hall pass, you do need some grocery bags, which you can get from the grocery stores and all that, but the one difficult part about this is going to be the carousel tickets. In order to get this, you'll need the Coco's Clown Academy. And, yeah, one of the things I kind of was grunting at is the fact that we're utilizing this stuff again. So normally, if you only have these and you don't want to spend $2, in order to you get a 30% chance. Now, if you have Theo in your town, they can raise it up to 60%, which is still not the greatest, but it's still something better than nothing. If you do want to go the extra mile and actually have Herbie summoned, then it's a 90% drop rate, but then again, not really needed. There is a way around this, but I will talk to you about people in a minute because of some event characters that will help you bypass this. And it was back to here. So that deals with the lunch boxes. Now, in order to get the lipsticks, you do need to craft the lighters. Now, the lighter over here, you get it from 3 scenes. One of them is the Sorrow Chokers, which is from the old tavern locations. You do need Martman, and Dark in order to do it. If you have Slappy in your town, which I recommend you do, then that will help you drop a lot. And then if you have Satyr, then that's 100% guarantee, so that's not bad. The Scarab Jewelry is from our first ever scene you get when you start the game, and literally is 10 minutes to wait, and it takes 10 seconds, so really that's not going to be hard for you to do. The black and white camera, though, I will be talking about because that is this event scene, and this one's going to be a little bit interesting and tricky, maybe, to get for the first time until you get a certain character, or if you get characters regardless. Now, the thing with the camera is that you only need it for the lighters. So, just to make note, you need a hall pass for the lunch boxes and the lighters for the lipsticks. Everything else you don't need. Besides the hall pass, you do need that for the color bomb. I'll explain more about that in a minute. So, colored paint. As you'll know, the paints go into whatever. You do need the brushes. Some characters will drop you some yellow or certain other color paints, but the way to get the paints is you have to get to the again, you have to get it from the certain characters will do this. Aaron perform an animation. Really, Aaron, really. Well, that's new to me. What do you mean, Aaron? Wrong button. Yeah, Aaron's not here. What is this all about? Getting paint. Yeah, so that was a... Oh, no. Aaron, not Eric. What's wrong with me? I was about to say, so that's a lie. No. So, in order to get these paints normally, you're going to have to go through the actual... there is a spawn building to get. And that will drop one of these random paints for you. And I'll talk about the spawns of the buildings that are useful in a minute. But this is all you need to know. There are certain premium characters that will help you drop paints regardless. And as you'll know, if you are familiar when it comes to color, yellow and red makes orange, blue and yellow makes green, and blue and red makes purple. So it's basically taking the normal colors and then mixing them up. And you need these new colors in order to make the rainbow paint. And you need one of each. The nice thing about this is you just need one of each thing. So that's not too bad to craft. The black paint, on the other hand, is going to be the interesting thing. So the rainbow paint, you'll need 2 of these items. In order to do the black paint and as well as to do the color bomb. The color bomb is going to be your hardest one to get because, well... Let's talk about the black paint before we go into the bomb. But the black paint, you'll need the ectoplasm, which is, oh boy, the creepy graveyard scene, as we can pretty much stack. And then there's the ghost tag. So let's go ahead and go over there. You need one of each, so that's not too terrible. But yeah, if you've seen from other events, these are not the greatest. Again, if you only have these, only $3. If you have him, you get 60, and then putting that guy is 90. So again, like the other ones, is still there. The ghost dog, on the other hand, 60% to release them, and it'll give you the dog tags. However, and I'm glad they haven't changed this yet, but if you have this still from last Halloween, you can get this just for 6 hours. So you can guarantee to get that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm only doing that to show off. So that's how you get that. So let's talk about the last, the color bomb. So the hall pass, easy to explain. The color rainbow paint bucket's easy to explain. But then you also need the snowball. So, to illustrate, if you don't have characters to skip some of these stuff, that means you have to deal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 scene items in order to get any of these items. The good news is that these scene items are only unique for one item in particular, so none of them cross over for others. So it looks complicated, but it's somewhat simplistic. So just to draw pictures here, this only go into this, right? And lighter for this, right? And then the color, no, can I go down? Thank you. And then the colors go with the color, and you only need the color bomb for this item down there, which is going to be easy to grab. You're just going to need to get the fingerprints, so that's pretty much easy to get. Out of curiosity, let's just go here. Yeah, so you just need makeups and that. But then again, there are certain characters that'll drop it just fine, and there are some characters that won't do anything, so you should be fine and dandy for that. Regardless, now then, I figured let's go ahead and talk about this scene in particular, because we're going to be looking at these characters. Well, I might as well hold off on the characters just yet and look at this scene, I guess, near the end. So let's go ahead and talk about the unique items that will help you, the suppliers as they call them. So over here, once the game loads, I guess I have to go back. Yeah, okay, there we go. So this is the suppliers. So we got the chalkboard, which every hour will drop you one piece of chalk. This, unless you got the characters that can drop this, like premium characters, this is the only way you're going to get your paint colors. The good news about these is that I believe you can buy multiple of them. So let's double check to make sure. Unless you only have one. No, so you can only get one of each, so that's sad. Oh well. Oh well, you can only get one of each. Well, I lied. So the only way to get it is you get one of these things. The old cameras does drop you a hall pass, so you don't really need to be so heavy bent to get the hall pass through that way. So just look at it through in that vein. What you'll most likely be able to do is you're going to probably be using some of these items just to sell for the event currency, because it's going to be... It's a bit tight when it comes to some of these characters. Like, one of the newer characters, the premium, which I'm going to be talking... Or freemium, I should be saying. Not premium. Freemium. That I'm going to be talking about costs 12k. And I think I made a note of that when I did my first part. But regardless. These two scene areas here. Well, this one's the dark room, or Mr. Chameleon's dark room, which gives you 7 every 3.5 hours. And this is Talia's hideout, which gives you 5 every 3.5 hours. Now then, the other thing to note, by the way, too, is that there's a gimmick with this one now where their items are, what I should say, creepy items from the gray world. In this case, this one being the wall, which is it drops you certain stuff. But as you'll notice, you do need event currency in order to upgrade them. So it seems like, I'm not 100% sure how easy these currencies are going to grab for now, because this event just started. But most likely than not, it is going to be hard. One thing I'll note, though, as you'll notice, is that the wall is the only thing here that you can actually craft. Whereas the other items, like say for example with the quest I'm on right now, it says place to swing, right? So it doesn't show up, but it's there. So there are items in this store that's there, which is more playground stuff. It'll go and describe this for you in the minute. But if you do upgrade this wall to the colored wall, what will end up happening is if you come back, it'll say that you didn't get this. So as long as you have a black and white wall, it should still count it as getting 100%. So I just wanted to let you out there, because I found this out back in March. Kind of had a theory this was the case, and then it was proven right. So now you know how this whole thing works. Now then, that being said, let's talk about the characters before we talk about the scene and then the books. So first things first, let's go with our normals. So Mr. Mortman, only thing that's useful for him is that he gives you chalk by doing the school board meeting. Next one is Lucy. She has one task, which is the Research Bell Valley, which is for 2 hours and 45 minutes. It gives you the paintbrush. I didn't say how long Mortman. It's probably the same time if I'm looking at this, honestly. So there are 2 tasks with Dustin. You can do toy scavenge for 2, there. Or the Gray World recovering, or recon, for a paintbrush for 245. This is one of the new animations for him. Brooke is useful. She gives you one thing, deliver school newspapers as per usual, so we'll have her do that because she helps drop some event currency. Now, something that is interesting is that Marty is needed for this event, but you'll notice that he's not colored background. Reason why is because if you look down, you need the black goo pool in order to do this animation, and he drops the hall pass, so this will be very much needed and helpful. if we go back to this just real quick, the goo is 80,000 here. Now, something I'll note to let you know about what this whole thing's about. If you go over to the books, I might as well describe this right now. If you go over to this event book, you'll notice it says you'll need to buy this for 80. So even if you don't need Talia to unlock this. However, what you do need is the black goo pool. If you get the black goo pool, the book will unlock, and eventually you're gonna have to get this for the story. So just know that you'll need that in order to get it. And the prize for this particular book is called The Forgotten Fable. It will look something like this. I'm not sure what we'll need for drops, but seeing how easy these items are, if you're a premium player, it should be fine. Other than that, if you're not a premium player, it seems like recently they've been kind of keeping pretty calm for the book prizes compared to the grand prize, so you should be alright to get, possibly. This, so long as there's no BS when it comes to the actual main story. I have a feeling it might be, though, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, now that that's out of the way and I talked about that, let's go ahead and go back. Mrs. Marr has one task. It is skim through 1947's yearbook for $2.45 and gives you chalk. Now then, I believe that is it for freemiums. Oh, okay. One, Mrs. Dark. She does the go around town shopping for chalk, so there you go. You'll notice that there's a lot of people who can drop chalk, and a few people that can drop paintbrushes, so it's done there on purpose. Now then, I guess we're going to go on to the premium characters. So first things first, something new. Ooh, I guess I'm going to highlight that at some point as well. I love the fact that the picture is looking like she's shocked at seeing what Mr. Chameleon is, but yeah. Anyways, this is the first thing that has happened since last update, and it seems like this is a new tradition now that characters are going to be useful for not just one, but like it used to be for 2, but now it's for 3. So Zeke is actually useful for this event. He only gives you one item, which is the shoot triples, which for green paint. So this is the only character that drops you an actual paint. Then we're going to go into the characters from the pretty bad one, Connor. You might be noticing I had one character flowing around that was Mr. Zawed. The only reasoning for that is because Zawed, unfortunately, still has not been shown up here. I'm not sure why. I'm hoping they're going to get it fixed. By the time this is recording, maybe it will, so I will show that off if that does ever happen. But there's 2 things you can do. There is the Roll Wisdom card, which gives you Hall Pass, which is nice. But the biggest thing, something weird, because he was like, oh, I didn't like this character. So I guess in response, they're like, okay, here you go, lunchbox. Yeah, so if you have Connor, there you go. You get one of the items like that, no questions. You're pretty much fine and not really to bother with. So, of course, I'm going to have him do that. It also will probably help sell some stuff too, so maybe there's not really a whole lot, but whatever. Let's go over here. Oh yeah, before I go there, I might as well go after Mr. Zawad because, you know, there he is. Give me that wizard. So the wizard has 2 things. He also does the hall pass, but he also has the carpet ride for every 5 hours, and it gives you rainbow paint. So again, he's not very, like, he doesn't really give you the, this is a trade-off, right? Zawid was the character that gave you some interesting stuff for the event, but it's like, nah. And now it's Connor, and then this one kind of helps, but not really. So he does give you the rainbow paint, which will help you for black paint as well as the colored bomb. Now, that being said, although he's like doesn't give you the actual item in question, this is going to be very helpful for you for one particular reason, because unlike him, there are 2 other characters. Connor's the only character that gives you an item from the needed quest in order to get the grand prize. And there's one other character that can do that for you. Other than that, the other characters are not that much helpful. So keep this in mind. Now then, let's go ahead for our last event we had. Aaron and RB Faraday. So Aaron, all of her tasks gives you stuff. So she gives you either chalk or paintbrushes. She also has Rage, Self-Repair, and Hide in the Garage. I love how they changed the color Rage for red, Self-Repair blue, Hide in the Garage for yellow. So that's... maybe the yellow should have been with Self-Repair and blue for Hide, but it's my humble opinion. But yeah, so you get the main colors through her, as well as the Super Speed and Flight Mode. So if you did get her from last event, which a lot of you I think did, then you're pretty much okay with getting some of these colors, like specific colors you need for certain items. So that's always great. So then, let's go to RB Faraday. Let's say you were like me and invested on this guy and you loved him, and, you know, 750, ooh boy. Ooh, too much. But if you do get him, not only does he give you the Hall Pass and Chalk, you know, pretty average, but as you'll notice, the colors he gives you are the orange, green, and purple paint. Oh, purple. Ooh. Purple guy. Oh, man. Memes. Alright, yeah. So anyways, yeah, he gives you the main secondary colors. So this is more specific if you really want to get another paintbrush. So again, these characters are very helpful to get that certain type of paint you need, because with the back to school supplies, you only get like one of the three, and you don't know which one you're going to get. So you might be unlucky and get all reds, no blues or yellow. So there's that. Right, so now let's talk about the main characters. Now, I'm not going to put these into task just yet, because I'm going to show off, well, something else off anyways. But, yeah, so let's talk about this one, Talia. Talia is a high-priced character at 12,000 event currency. She is plausible to get, don't get me wrong, but it is going to be high in price. She has a few tasks. They both give you, like, she also gives you the normal colors. So that's another character that will help you get the color you need if you're not a premium player. So that's one option to why you would want to get her. The other reason I will talk about, as well as with Mr. Chameleon, so don't worry about that. But yeah, you get this. In order to get the paintbrush, which I don't think you need to, but if you do, you need to get the chalkboard in order to get that going for you. So keep that in mind. And last but not least, let's talk about the man, lift, and legend for 7 hard goose bucks. Mr. Chameleon. Mr. Chameleon, like the other premium, gives you the secondary colors, the orange, the green, the purple. He also gives you the hall pass. But revealing photographs for 4 hours will give you black paint. This is the only character that will actually do this. So if you have Connor and Mr. Chameleon, then congratulations, you got 2 out of the 4 items you need. The bad news is that you still need to craft the lipstick, as well as the, what do you call it, the bomb. So you're still going to have to deal with getting items through the scenes, namely the snowman of Pasadena, aka this the snowman's fridge, which, you know, 50%, not bad, I guess. If you have Conrad, it'll help your chances out. I don't think he's going to be that bad in order to get that snowman for the bomb. But one item that's going to probably be a pain is to get the lighter for the lipstick. The reason why is because not only do you have to deal with the gnomes, and if you've seen May, you'll know the meme with that, with how bad they drop is. Because, oh boy, they really just suck. Let's go back memory lane. Let's see how bad it is. Yeah, look at this. 40%. And if you bet $1, that brings you only up to 70%. So that's awful. That is just truly, truly awful. But the other reason why this is somewhat sucky is mostly when it comes to the lighter. Because, if you'll notice, you need a black and white camera, and that is the event scene drop for the Bell Valley Middle School. Now, when you first start this off, if you do not get the new characters, you only have the gray girl and the gray boy, or the, gray kids. So the gray boy only takes 10 of the event currency. Gray Girl takes 150 of the coins. That gives you 20%, so oof. Now you can summon them every hour and a half, so you could probably still do it, but that's such a bad like chance, right? Meanwhile, if you have eventually if you do get Talia, then it gives you a chance to 40%. Not bad from last event, which you only got 25, but still not great. It's still not even 50-50, and even then, it's probably hard to get. Now, this is where Chameleon comes in, because if you have both her and him, it's 100% guaranteed to get the item. But if you don't have her just yet, and you decide to just wait in getting her, it'll give you 80%, so still high. If you get Chameleon, it's still a high percent, so you can tell that they really want you to get that money for 70k. As far as his price goes, I mean, his animations are, like, I'll talk about him in his quest line. Honestly, I don't think it's that... I'm just trying to say... They try to make him useful for the price. It's still high compared to, like, not high as, say, RB Fair Days, but still high regardless. And it still kind of sucks. But all in all, with all that rambling, is this possible to get all this items? Yes, for the most part. If you haven't invested into this game, then it is very possible, but it's going to be very hard. Because you're going to be utilizing 9 of the scenes in order to get everything. However, the way the demand for them and how they structure it should be easy enough to get everything, and so long as you follow the quest, it should be fine. The difficulty I think it's going to be is getting the items needed for the event, namely the new items here, because like you need school chairs and all this stuff, and like even this, the Black Ghoul Pool, 80% or 80k, you know, not to mention you got the new girl who's like 12k, and I have no idea how this story is going to progress and if they're going to be needed, and I think they are, which is going to be sucky. But yeah, I think that's going to be your most hard thing to get through. So getting the class of 47, if you just focus on getting this, then I think you should be all good. But if you're going after the other items, then it's going to be, you know, the normal items, it should be pretty bad. The grand book prize, I think, is achievable. Usually they seem to be, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And I think that's about it. I think that's as much as I can explain to you to hopefully help you out with what you can do and get. So, good luck to you guys. We have about 26 days as the time of this recording. And if my time is correct, which it's getting close, it's getting better, but I think I got it on the money this time around. The event will end on Wednesday, October 7th at 7 p.m. EST. Now, I'm going to say EST because it seems like they're starting to go for the EST time because you're getting closer to daylight savings. So, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting with everything coming through here. And again, best of luck to everybody to getting this event. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see. Leave your comments down below if you have any suggestions on how to make this easier, or like if you found anything out that might help. Other than that, yeah, good luck, and hopefully this video is helpful. Until then, I'll be seeing you next time for whatever more Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough gives us. So until then, the world is a wicked place. Quiet, is it not?